Hi, I'm Paul Sullenberger. In this video, we're going to go over the installation of SRAM Dub cranksets on CeramicSpeed's BB ALPHA bottom bracket platform. Once you've installed the correct CeramicSpeed BB ALPHA onto your bike, now we'll be ready to install the crankset. What we're going to do, we're going to start with the non-drive side crank, which has the crank spindle. We're going to go from the non-drive side, applying grease and inserting into it. All CeramicSpeed BB ALPHA bottom brackets for SRAM Dub interface are going to come with this paper container that'll have the necessary spacers, as well as a QR code to the SRAM Dub spacer chart for CeramicSpeed BB ALPHA. This is an ideal time to go ahead and swap out the plastic preload ring that comes on the crankset and utilize the refined alloy fine adjustment preload ring offered by CeramicSpeed. For this T47A interface, we need no additional spacers on the non-drive side and only 3mm spacers on the drive side. So we'll go ahead and apply some grease on the spindle, ensuring that the interface to the drive side crank is clean and ready to be applied. I'm going to check both the threads as well as the waved interface, applying a nice little bit of grease, not too much. CeramicSpeed's long life grease is a great solution here. You're going to make sure dust covers are performing nicely on both sides of the bottom bracket when installed. And then give a nice little bit of a wiggle and a slide to apply in. The crank at this point should move very freely. We want to make sure that that preload ring is not tightened and is nice and loose and all the way open so we can stir the crank without too much binding. With the non-drive side crank seated all the way through, we'll now go ahead and apply our 3mm spacer onto the drive side and then secure the crank. You utilize an 8mm hex key for securing the crank bolt, and we want to make sure that the cranks are in parallel line with each other, pointing different directions. Before torquing the crank in place, we want to make sure everything's rotating freely, and then we can go ahead, grab our torque wrench, and following the OEM spec, this goes to 54 Newton meters. Now, with your crank torqued to spec, again, we check that everything is flowing freely, and we'll go ahead and with a 2mm Allen key, we'll make adjustments to the preload ring on the non-drive side and then secure it in place. You can check by moving the crank laterally and holding the frame to see if there's any free play. You don't want to tighten this too tight, as it should spin nice and freely and quietly. When it's adjusted nicely, we can go ahead and secure the preload ring. As this is just a pinch bolt to hold the preload in place, we're only going to 0.3 Newton meters, or just fingertip tight. You're now ready to check your clearance and your spacing, and you're good to go ride.